I've talked to some women and they said that guys had an issue with them masturbating. And I always looked at it as an enhancer. Like I wouldn't mind watching you do it. I wouldn't mind you doing it while we are doing our thing. I've never really been, other than the one situation that I talked about, it's never been something that has made me feel some type of way at all. Because honestly, it's like, well, it's not like she's cheating. She's doing her thing, and it's whatever. Now, if that's the only thing she is doing and it's taken away from her desire to interact with me, then I can see it becoming problematic, right? And I think people normally talk about that with men, but I can assume, or I would assume that women could fall into that trap as well. But I know for me and for guys, before I let you jump in, sometimes you can get into the trap of masturbating too much, and it does start to impact the quality of the sex that you have.
Yeah. I haven't run into any guys that I've been intimate with who've had a problem with me pleasuring myself. I don't know why that's embarrassing to say, but it is.
Does that make you nervous, Tay, saying that?
A little bit, a little bit.
All the other shit that you talk about on this show, that makes you nervous.
But you know what's
There-
crazy?
there's that there's that historical shame.
Historical shame, but not just that. Me personally, I when it comes to in the bedroom, I'm like a no holds barred. I don't have many. I do have some red lights, but I don't have many red lights that I'm not willing to cross. But it's always been like people. There have been guys who like to watch women pleasure themselves. That always makes me nervous. So I think that's why just talking about it just now, just I was like, oh gosh, like hide my face. But
You don't like being the center of attention like that.
yeah, yeah. Even though, which is funny, I grew up performing on stages and choirs on acting, all that stuff. But when the attention is solely focused on me, I do have a like, hey, I don't like this thing going on. But
It's different on being on stage. You can kind of zone out and not see the crowd, and you got on clothes, and you're not, vulnerable. So there's a difference to that. One of
yeah,
the one of the people said, as a guy, he said it has kept me from making some bad decisions. Never good to go grocery shopping on an empty stomach.
I hear people say that, but it's never stopped me from making bad decisions because if I want something, I want it. So
There's this chick that we used to fool around. We were friends. And I can't even call it friends with benefits because we never had sex. But we would definitely like fool around. Well, what's my favorite term? Heavy petting. We would do a lot of heavy petting, right? And like make
Mhm.
out and everything. And I remember she was notorious for being late. But this time she was like super late, like I was about to bounce. And we were talking, and she was like, yeah, I had to get one off before I came and saw you. And I said, what? She was like, I had to get a nut off before I came and saw you. Which, sidebar, I don't like when women say nut. You know what I'm saying? That's something dudes do. That's just my personal thing, but whatever. But she said, yeah, I had to get it off because I knew if I didn't, we would probably go all the way. We'd be fucking. And I was like, well, damn, what's wrong with that? She was like, nah, we friends. Yeah, we fool around, but I'm not ready for all that. And I was just like, that was the first time I've ever heard a woman tell me that she had to go ahead and handle that so that way she would have more clarity when she was around me.
that never worked. I've tried that. That never worked for me.
You tried it?
That's what I was saying. I've tried that before. Like when I want something, I want it. So typically, if I don't want to go to that point with a guy, then I'm gonna have to do something else to keep from doing that. I'm masturbating is not gonna keep me from it.
Like what?
Like setting boundaries of like I'm leaving by a certain time if things are getting too hot and heavy, leaving or just not going out, just stuff like that.
Hmm. So, do you have you ever been with a partner who liked masturbating and did it ever become an issue?
It's never become an issue that I could tell anyway.
You cool with it, so he can do it as much
Yeah,
as he wants.
yeah. As long, yeah, my thing is as long as whatever you're doing does not affect our situation and what we got going on, hey, do what you gotta do.
Hmm. Sorry, so some of the listeners had some comments. One of them said, unless you're in a long distance relationship, military or ill, why are you doing that? Um, I would say that sometimes, man, you just kind of, you know, don't want to go through all the things that sex entails, right? Because, so say I'm in a relationship with somebody, and then I have to bank on her being in the mood as well. Bank on, then I gotta, if I'm feeling lazy, then I gotta, get her involved, get her aroused, do all the different things. And sometimes you just want to rub one out and go to sleep.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, and I don't think that that changes just because you are in a relationship. Sometimes you just want to rub one out and go to sleep.
Yeah, I can agree with that because I've always said I with a toy with a strong vibration, I can get there like that. And sometimes
So that Hitachi wine.
I mean
This is
yeah, so I
funny
mean so
as
sometimes you may not have time to, like you said, do everything that and you know me, I like the I like a marathon session. But sometimes you don't have time for a marathon session. So, you know.
there's this one, and I've known a couple women that have used that Hitachi wine. And there was this one girl on Instagram. She's funny. It's a black girl. She kind of sings like punk rock or whatever. And she talks about different, sex and all that stuff. And she said, look, I want all the watts. And she said she pulled out that Hitachi wine and she said she thought it broke her shit because she became desensitized. She couldn't feel nothing. And she said she finally went to the doctor. And she said it's funny, I lied and told him I was riding my bike and I fell and hit the bar. But they said that more than likely she just kind of injured a nerve in her clitoris, and that's what the deal was. But
Yeah.
I think, and you tell me, I don't know, maybe women maybe women can become desensitized like that. I know for guys, the issue is you start to train your body to respond to your hand. And the positive is you last longer in the bed, but the drawback is your partner may start to feel some type of way if they can't get you there.
Yeah. I do know that there are women who can become desensitized. If you use it too much, you can kind of hurt some nerve endings. But I do believe that if you stay off of it for a little while, the nerve endings will come back. But what else did you say? Dang, I lost my train of thought.
Guys training themselves with their hands or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I've heard other women say that their body got used to what a toy can do, which humans can't do. And so their body was looking for that to help them have an orgasm. But so that can happen.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that how that could be deflating for your partner, but like, hey, I'm all for multiples. And if we got to pull out some hardware to make that happen, then I'm all good with that. And I'm all good with her, doing her thing on, solo. Like I said, as long as she's not denying me when I want it, that's fine. Because like shit, I'm a busy man. So sometimes I'll be tired. So if you can stay happy with me and that, okay, babe, I know you're tired. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my thing. More than likely, I'm gonna consider that like a challenge and be like, let me come in here and see what's going on. You know what I mean? But if that gets you there, that's cool. So, all right, now some more comments. Yolanda said at this age, he ain't bothering no one, he ain't sticking to no one else, and it still works. That's true, because you did got you jack it off for sure.
Yeah.
Buddy said the limit is when it keeps him from being able to be intimate with me.
Yeah.
Have
Let's
you,
just say
have you ran across that issue?
no, no. But if that becomes an issue, yeah, we got some things we gotta talk about.
Yeah, you definitely, especially because I don't know the tools that people use. Um, some people use porn, some people use memories, whatever. But especially if the masturbation becomes tied to porn usage,
Hmm.
some all kind of other questions like, well, what you watching and what you and I know we talked about this before. You know what I'm saying? Like if you are a slender woman and he's watching BBW orgy, you might feel some type of way about it.
You may.
Or, and I think you talked about this before, or if you a black woman and he's watching hot Latina lust, might be an issue. I ain't gonna lie, if my girl is watching some white boys, if she has a thing for watching pink penis, I'm gonna have an issue with that. Fair or foul.
That's fair.
What the fuck's going on? I need you to be on Dr. Umar like I am.
Oh gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Black Queens forever, nobody's never. Shout out to Umar. Frank said, just let me get in every now and again. I would get a rose, a rabbit, and some non-battery operated toys and separate her from reality and curl her toes.
Yeah. Like
Damn.
I heard a comedian say, that's his companion, not or his teammate, not his competition.
It's an enhancer.
Yeah.
It's an enhancer. So, and you know what's crazy though? And I shouldn't say it's crazy, but I find it interesting and intriguing how when you talk to different women, how their tools of choice differ.
Hmm.
Some need that power, they need that Hitachi wand. Some would like a little bullet or a rabbit or whatever. Um, the Rose came out, and I think it introduced people. I don't know because I'm not a woman, but the Rose came out and really highlighted the suction
Hmm.
thing. And I'm sure they had to have had suction toys before the Rose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure they had, right? But it's funny how when you talk to different people, how they would like, hey, I prefer the wine, I prefer the rose. And there's some people would be like, don't give me no type of toy. I don't want no plastic on me. I'll just use my hand.
Yeah.
So everybody is different. And in that regards, women are lucky because y'all got a variety.
Yeah, all y'all have is what the pocket coochie.
She said pocket coochie.
Because I'm not gonna say the other word. So
The corner coochie. Uh, I had bought, and I never used a pocket pussy, but there was this one toy. I think I still got it too. Um, it's kind of like a sleeve.
hmm.
It's like a little sleeve and it has a hole on each end. So you insert the lubrication in the hole, and the hole is very tight, very small. So when you put it on your penis, it fits tight, right? And if you use it with your partner, you know, the head of your penis is coming out so she can suck it or whatever, or you can just, use it on yourself, right? Self-love. Listen, I had to hide that motherfucker. The nut it gave me was ridiculous. And I was like, oh no, I've been and got addicted to this joint right here. Let me go ahead and hide this in the closet somewhere. And I knew that was going to happen. And so I was just like, let me go ahead and hide this because this joint right here is powerful. It's powerful because I didn't want to be that type of dude. Because you remember it came out, I think Kirk Franklin, when he went on Oprah and he was talking about how he had a porn addiction, or
Hmm.
like then women started psychoanalyzing dudes, and I saw the one girl say on social media, she was like, "Hey, these dudes who are addicted to porn and to jacking off, don't try to get with them because there's no pleasing them. All they know is how to please themselves." And I was like, oh, Okay. I mean, I guess I can see how that goes. But then you start, well, you got to go get help in order because you have a problem. And I was like, I don't know if it's considered a problem unless you're denying your partner.
I mean, if what you're doing is considered an addiction, I think any addiction needs some kind of intervention or help.
Yeah, I can see that, and perfect segue.
Hmm.
It's masturbation month, but May is also mental health awareness month.
Yes.
And hopefully we can get somebody on a professional to talk about it, how it applies to relationships. But my question, and hopefully it's not too personal, even though we talk about a lot of personal shit, right? um, have you ever dated somebody that had mental health problems?
Not anything that was over the top. I mean, I'm one of those people who think that we all need some kind of therapy at some point. I think all of us have issues that we probably need to work out and that we need somebody else to kind of help us maybe see alternative views or how to work through some issues that we may have. So I definitely have some exes who who definitely need to definitely need to see that lady, as people like to say these days. But
See, I see a guy. For me, I need to talk to a man and a black man. And
I know, but the
I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah.
yeah. When people say you need to go see the lady, they mean you need to go see a therapist. But I know. But but I've never dated anyone that I felt like had a significant illness with their mental health. And me being me, I'm not sure if I could handle being in a relationship like that.
I,
If they're not seeking help.
I mean, you know, I tell my business all the time, so I'll go ahead and tell this. There was a time when I was in a really, really dark place, and I was depressed, suicidal, all those things. And I share my story because I want people to learn from it. And it took a toll on my family, for real, for real. And the problem is you think about what it's doing to you, and you're like, hey, I ain't hurt nobody. It's just me, right? But how you operate when you are in a depressed state, it impacts your partner, it impacts your children, it impacts your friends. And once I was able to heal myself, and then I started talking to my friends, um, they were open with me and they said, dude, like it was really hard to be around you for a while, because you were so negative. You were, in such a dark place. We couldn't turn our back on you. And they didn't really have the tools to help. Now, if I say anything like, oh, I'm having a bad week, I'm getting phone calls and text messages. Hey, 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 what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Because as men, we don't really open up at the time. We didn't really open up and share those things. But now it's more, you're not looked at as weak if you tell your homeboys, hey man, I'm having a hard time.